what would toddlers be like? Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Daisy Aaliyah here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and welcome to the J.D family while you're here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you again for coming back. Honestly, you guys, I'm still getting used to this. I'm still getting into the hang of like talking to the camera and looking here, not here. But you know, when the camera's right there, you just have to like make sure I still look here or whatever. What happened? You want to talk to the camera? You want to say hi? You and your chocolate face? Say hi to the camera. Alright guys, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry. I just had to go sit his butt down so you can watch the show. So anyways, welcome to my YouTube channel, you guys. First and foremost, most of you are probably here because of the title of the video. I don't want to sound cliche, but I do want to say that this is not going to be to bash, you know, Sephora or any of my former employees, because I had overall pretty good experiences. You know, I feel like most jobs have like that downside, you know, like stressful days and all that, but this video is not going to be, you know, for any tea. So if you're here for the tea, this is not your place to be at. And then I hope you guys don't mind that the boys are right here. Jesse's at work and, you know, I'm with them. So if you guys see them running around or, you know, doing flips in the back, just don't mind them. They're terrible twos. All right, so I thought that before getting to the why I quit part, I did want to mention the pros of Sephora, because there are so many pros at Sephora, especially if you're in a location where the culture and then the environment and the people are great. So let's just get into it. You know, this video is going to be lengthy as it is. So some of the things I loved, first and foremost, the education. If you have ever thought or are thinking about applying to Sephora, the education there is amazing. They definitely devote so much time and invest so much money on the level and quality of education that the employees receive. I do want to say that I don't even think any job does this, you guys. So honestly, if you love makeup and you want a career out of it and you want somewhere where, you know, you kind of want to further your makeup knowledge, Sephora is great for hands-on training and stuff like that. And if you work there, you know that when you train and you receive a training or any form of training, you usually get gratis accompanied by it. If you guys don't know what gratis is, actually I have my box right here. They'll usually put it in little bags, but gratis is free makeup that they give you anytime that you train with a brand representative. So I'm no longer with Sephora. It's been almost 2 months, but I still have like a bunch of stuff that I haven't even used, you guys. That's not from it, but everything in here is, you know, I haven't even opened it. Oh, I love this oil. Anyway, I'll probably do like a review for a different time, but you guys get an idea. It's a bunch of free product that you guys get whenever you do training, so that's an amazing perk. Probably one of the best, or, you know, one of the things I do miss from being at Sephora, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, the training, the education is really, really great. Another thing that I loved, oh, another quick disclaimer, this video will be, you know, solely on the last Sephora that I worked at, which was a freestanding. If you don't know the difference, freestanding Sephoras are the big individual or independent stores, and then there is Sephora inside of JCPenney, which I also worked at one, but my review is going to be based on the freestanding Sephora that I worked in. So, number two, the work-life balance there was amazing. At least with me, my managers often, sorry you guys are gonna hear me in the background a lot. So where I was at, work-life balance. The work-life balance at my last location was really great. I do want to shout out the managers for that. Personally, I do want to say that they worked with me quite a bit. You know, they did take my problems into consideration. I'm not someone that was shy to talk about what was going on with me if I felt it was affecting my work, which, you know, rarely did it affect my work or, you know, the way I was on the floor or with clients. But, you know, behind the doors, in the back rooms and stuff, sometimes I talk about it to my bosses, and they were really understanding. So I love that. They were at one point willing to just allow me to work weekends while, you know, I got things figured out. And I applaud them for that, because not just any job is going to really work with you in the job, but also with, you know, your own personal life. So I shout them out for that. Another great thing about Sephora, and again, if you're thinking of applying or are going to apply or have applied, is the culture and the environment. At least the Sephora that I worked in, this last one again, the freestanding, we had so many cool people there. I'm someone that I don't like drama, and if I think something, I usually think it to myself. So I want to say I got along with everyone. They're pretty great. I don't think there was anyone that I didn't get along with. Maybe there was like twice where there was like a misunderstanding, but I'm the kind of person that I'm gonna go to you and talk to you about it. You know, I'm not gonna like just let it sit and become awkward. But I never had any drama with anybody. Everyone was actually really cool at the Sephora that I worked at. Everyone had super awesome personalities. So shout out to you guys. I keep in touch with a lot of you guys, and you know that. I support your guys' your vlogs. Anything that I can, honestly, I try to support them. And I made some amazing friends and amazing acquaintances there. So shout out to you guys. You guys know who you are. So yeah, the culture is amazing. So out of all the jobs that I've had in my life, Sephora was the most fun one to work at. I'll give you that. The interview process was also pretty easy. Again, I think this kind of ties back. I should have just done a video on like if you want to apply or look at Sephora. The interview process was really great. The onboarding process was really cool. When I first got hired to the Sephora, I didn't know what to expect, because if you're new to my channel or if you've never followed me on Instagram, I used to work at JCPenney Sephora. So the two previous Sephoras that I worked at, they were JCPenney. And the third one was the freestanding. So I didn't know what to expect, but the training process was really easy. It was fun. Shout out to, well, I can't say her name, but shout out to, I don't want to make up a name. I don't want to discredit her, but she knows who she is, the person that onboarded me and also the person that did my training. They were both really sweet. Shout out to them. I love them. If you're watching this video, you were amazing. Okay, sorry you guys, like I said, my boys are here, so they're kind of, I have to like stop and attend to them. So anyway, a great thing about Sephora, and at least this location that I worked at, the management was really great to me. They're really good on noticing your strengths and applauding them. So what I mean by that is, if you did something that was, you know, recognizable or needed to be recognized, they definitely recognized it. We have what are called VIA awards. So monthly, it's kind of like employee of the month type of thing. Monthly, they would choose an employee who kind of stood out in a certain, how do you explain it? Okay, so Sephora has core values, right? And let's say that month, the value that they were looking out for was like, client experience, let's say that, right? And you know, they look out to see who's really giving a client the Sephora experience. The person that stands out will win that VIA award per se, and then the next month might be like respect for the client, and then the next after that one might be like passion for the client. So you guys kind of get the idea. You do win a little award for it, and I have them with me so that you guys could see. I was there for 2 years. I got 2 of them. And yes, I'm proud about that, because you know what kind of job, well, there's a lot of good jobs out there that do recognize your work and stuff, but I do want to say that Sephora at the end of the day is retail, and for them to really go above and beyond to recognize you is really nice, and I respect that, and I really appreciate that, because I put a lot of work into Sephora. If you know me, I loved to work there. I had fun. I really enjoyed my time there, so I'm glad that they saw that. So another thing, one great thing, and again this kind of ties back to if you want to apply or work for Sephora, is that they carry an abundance of brands. Like if you guys have ever stepped into a freestanding Sephora, you guys have probably been like, whoa, they have like 100 brands. If you guys only knew the amount of brands that we carry. I personally don't even know the full number, and I worked almost like 3.5 years for them, different stores obviously. But if you ever go online and scroll through the brands, you guys, abundance of brands, which is a plus, because if you're starting off in jobs, right, like let's say you got your makeup certification and you're trying to look for a job so that you can apply your stuff in, Sephora would be definitely the place I would recommend, just because you get training on all of these brands, you know, whether you carry it in store or not. There's some brands that we still educate. I still say we, like if I work there. There's still brands that they will educate you on, even if they don't carry them in store. And that's a plus, you guys, versus like MAC, you know, just carries MAC, or if you go to NYX, it's just NYX. The advantage you have at Sephora is that they have so many different brands that you get training and knowledge on. So that's a big up, especially if you want to get hired there. I want to say that there's more things. You know how it happens when you're trying to think of stuff and like it just doesn't come to you. But there's a lot of great experience that I had at Sephora. You know, being an artist there was really, really fun. Doing makeovers was definitely one of my favorite things to do. Consulting with clients could get tricky when it was like busy and stuff. But overall, I loved Sephora. I loved my experiences there. I had no big drama with anyone. So again, if you're here for the tea, it's not the place. Okay, so let's get to the part that you guys have probably all been waiting for. Not necessarily why I quit just yet, but things I didn't like about Sephora. And that's just keeping it real, because you know, in any place, in any job, in any circumstance, there's gonna be the good and the bad, and you gotta take the bad with a grain of salt, you know, which is why I did, and I'm able to speak about it. So some of the things I didn't like, the biggest thing actually, and I want to say most Sephora employees that have worked at a freestanding store will agree with me on this, is the on-call. Holy shit, I fucking hated that. I'm sorry for my French, but I hated the on-call. If you guys don't know what that is, when you work for a freestanding Sephora, they have what is called on-call shifts. So most jobs, right, you work your 8 hours. What an on-call meant was that you for sure worked the first 4 hours, but by the end of that 4th hour, you might or might not stay for your full shift. So let's say you have a shift that's from 10 to 6, right? You come in, you work from 10 to 2. At 2, you'll report to your manager and you ask them, you know, will I be staying? And depending on the sales of the store and depending on whether it's busy or not, they either keep you for your full shift or they don't. If they keep you for your full shift, you would take an hour lunch. If you're staying the 8 hours, you would take an hour lunch and then, you know, come back and resume the rest of your shift. But you guys, that was so tricky. If I was single, you know, no kids, no responsibilities outside of work, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, screw it, give it to me. If I'm staying, I'm staying. If not, I'm not. And it wasn't so much of a big deal at first because, mind you, I came from a J.C. store where they didn't have on-call. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. But I do want to say that if you're a parent, you know, if you're married and you need to plan, if you're the person that plans your weeks ahead of time or your days ahead of time, this is a big issue. At least I know that it brought up a lot of issues for me in my home because it was hard for me and Jesse to kind of schedule things, you know, make things work because we didn't know if I was going to be kept for my on-call or not. And mind you, as a, you know, color artist, I did makeovers. I was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for sure, which meant that if we wanted to plan a date or plan something on the weekend, we couldn't because I didn't know if I was staying for my shifts. And color artists, on average, were kept through their own calls on average, but there was days where they didn't, so it was still hard for me to plan anything. And let's be real, it would get, you know, a little bit of stress in my household because who the hell doesn't want to know if you're coming home or not, you know? Like if that was Jesse the other way around, I'd be kind of like cranky about it, like when the hell are you coming home, like are you coming home or not, can we plan this or not? It was very, very inconvenient. There you go, that's the word. So yeah, Sephora on-call sucks a lot. Hated the on-call. Another thing was the pay. So the pay would differ slightly, you know, depending how long you've been there, what role you play, Me, when I first got hired, I got offered $12 an hour, and I'm not ashamed to say it, you know, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. The JCPenney that I used to work for at first paid me $12.50. So when I applied for this one, I did mention that I wanted to start off at least at $12.50 because, you know, I'm understanding. I want to start off at least where I was at and make my way up once they see my level of work and, you know, how determined I am. Mind you, I only got a raise of like 10 or 15 cents while I was there. Like 6 months in, it was only like a 10 or 15 cents raise. And again, this is not to bash the management because I don't feel like it's on them so much. I feel like it's more like corporate and like the higher positions that kind of get to dictate, you know, like when someone gets a raise and why they should get a raise. So I'll give you that. It's kind of hard to get a raise, at least one that's deserving. Another thing, being a color artist, beauty advisor, makeup artist, it sucked that we were not allowed to get tips. So you can, you know, beat someone's face to the gods, but you still weren't allowed to get a tip, even if that client insisted you take a tip. And there was a couple of times that client literally insisted. One time a client literally put it in my pocket and I had to take it out and hand it back to her because I could get fired for that. And if you guys didn't know that, now you do. So be nice when you go to your makeup artist, you guys. A lot of people think that Sephora, it's like, oh yeah, they're making extra money off of what I'm buying. Bitch, no they're not. And if you're saying that, that just knows how little you know about Sephora, because in no way, shape, or form were we ever allowed to accept tips. And mind you, Sephora did not work off a commission, still doesn't work off a commission, and I doubt they'll be working off a commission anytime soon. So if someone spends like 15 whole minutes with you, really listening to you, really devoting time to you and your needs, appreciate them a little bit extra, because they don't get any extra commission for any extra amount of work. And it doesn't matter if you take 5 products, it doesn't matter if you take half a damn store. Sephora employees do not earn any commission, no matter how many items they sold you. So again, if you guys didn't know, now you know. So I hope this kind of makes you guys think twice about being mean to them next time you go in there. So yeah, the pay was, it didn't matter so much in the beginning, but towards the end, and at least now that I'm a mom, it did matter. Like, how am I gonna make a living, you know, with a $12 an hour wage, and here in the city it's just, it's hard, you guys. It's really, really hard. Okay, so another thing that kind of sucked was the part-time full-time concept. So for the most part, if you ever applied to a Sephora job, it'll say like if you're applying for a full-time or part-time. Mind you, if it says here that you're applying for a full-time part-time position, what that means is that you're gonna be a full-time. Yeah, you'll work 5 days a week, but you won't be full-time. So you might work like 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week, and it's technically doesn't consider you as full-time. I remember asking about that, and they told me, you know, that it was kind of hard. And not management, I asked 2 other employees and stuff, you know, about the full-time position, and they did tell me that it was kind of hard to get those, just because there's people that have been there for a long time and they're not planning to leave. So unless someone that was full-time left, then maybe they'd consider getting someone else into that full-time position. But getting the full-time benefits and all that was really, really hard, which made you think, like, because mind you, the 401k you're not eligible for unless you're a full-time employee with the benefits. So if you're there trying to make a career out of it and you're not really allowed into full-time yet, it's like, okay, you're gonna work all those years to maybe get a full-time benefits position. It sucks, you guys. Most people that work there don't have the benefits, don't have the 401k. I want to say that at my last store, maybe only management and like a select 2 or 3 were actually employed as full-time and with the 401k and all those benefits, which sucked because it kind of makes you think twice about making a career there and staying there for years if you're not gonna ever get the benefits for it, you know. So that was kind of a red flag for me when I found that out. And I didn't find that out till maybe like towards the end of my employment, like maybe like 3 months before I decided to leave, I found that out. So as I went, you know, because I was there a year, as the year progressed, I kind of started learning things here and there that really discouraged me or made me think twice about staying. But I really enjoyed the job, so it was kind of hard to just quit, you know. I wanted to kind of wait it out and see if anything would change. Oh, 2 things that, these are just kind of like, I guess, not such big things, but they were kind of annoying, was 1, getting checked out. At least at the freestanding Sephora, actually both, we'd have to get checked out. So what that means is that at the end of the day, when you clocked out, before you left the store, someone in management or even security would have to check your belongings to make sure that you weren't taking anything that was the store's. So that meant emptying out your pockets. So I have my tunic, I would have to empty out my pocket, like, you know, turn them inside out, I'm sorry. I would have to open my purse, unzip any areas, and they'd have to check like every little like socket that you had in your bag, just to ensure that you weren't taking anything. If you had a jacket, you had to take off your jacket and kind of shake it. If you had any makeup that was Sephora brand, you had to have it in a clear Ziploc bag, and I want to say I have one of those. Okay, sorry guys, sorry, but I need to get the bag so I could show you. The bag looks like such, and it has to be clear so that they're able to see like what is in there, and you know, just make it easier on the way out, I guess. I would always use this one, or at one point I didn't even have anything because it was such a hassle just to try to get like your things checked, or if you were in a rush, like nobody got time to be getting checked out. Mind you, on busy days during holidays, it had to be a manager that would check you out. So if they weren't available, you'd have to wait around until they became free so they can check you out and you can finally be on your way. Sometimes we got places to be, you know, and one time I want to say I waited at least 10 minutes and I was like, I gotta get out of here. So another thing that was kind of annoying too, and this is just something that I guess annoyed me, I don't know if it annoyed anybody else that I worked with, was that on the 4 times throughout the year that Sephora had coupons or discount days, the VIB Rouge clients, which is like the top tier client, mind you, I was one, not that it matters, but the top tier Rouge clients would get 20% off. And employees on a usual get 20% off. I thought it was kind of annoying that the Rouge clients would get the same level of discount that we got. In general, I think that Sephora employees should get like at least a 30%, like at least a 30%. You know, I want to say that most employees would give back a good chunk of their money throughout the year. Why not give them a little bit extra of a discount? Sephora collection was, I believe, a 40% discount for us, I want to say. But I do know that our average discount is 20%. Our discount is 20%, and then Sephora collection was like 30 or 40%. But still, you know, I just think it's a high-end store. It's expensive as shit, you guys. Employees should at least get a 30%, but you know, who am I? Maybe I should get a job in corporate, and that's where the change has to come, right? Okay, so the real reason why I quit, because mind you, I just wanted to give, you know, things that I love and things that I didn't love about Sephora, but the real reason why I quit, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that sometime, I think it was like mid-March, I don't remember the exact date, but mid-March I was found to have an ectopic pregnancy. If you guys don't know what that is, an ectopic pregnancy is when you get pregnant and then the egg is like somewhere in the tubes or like outside the uterus. It's really confusing because an ectopic pregnancy can mean different, like the egg could be in different places. For me, I had an ectopic pregnancy in one of my fallopian tubes, specifically my left. So I had to undergo surgery. We had to terminate the pregnancy. I was literally hemorrhaging on the inside. I was bleeding out. It was very emotional and very stressful moment for me and for Jessie. You know, prior to that, I had already been thinking about leaving Sephora. I had talked about it to my management, like I want to say like twice at least, and I think this was kind of like that push I needed, and not necessarily needed, but the fact that I had been considering to quit and then this happened just kind of made me realize like, okay, you know, I need to really look at what I want in life. I need to really think about where I want this to go. And I realized that although Sephora had been so great to me, although, you know, the management were more friends than anything, I didn't want to spend the rest of my life there. So yeah, I mean, that was actually the real reason why I quit. And you know, I promised I was going to do a video because a lot of you guys reached out to me when that was going on and asked me what was happening, and I just wasn't ready to talk about it. But you know, things happen for a reason. Thanks to that, I'm here now and I'm doing YouTube, which is a great thing. So yeah, you guys, that was it for this video. Definitely leave some comments down below. Let me know if there's anything that I didn't touch on. I'm probably gonna remember about a million things that I didn't mention after I watch this video, but it's all good. Maybe we'll keep it on for the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can know when any of my new videos are coming up. Next video is definitely gonna be me and Jessie, so if you guys want to see his little cute ass on camera, drop his name down in the comment box, and I'll see you on the next one.